when you walk, what you say, when you talk, when you go, when you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. We have to prepare.
We've got to make ourselves accustomed to a lot of new voices, yeah? We get new voices all over the place. Miss Marisha is, well, not necessarily new, but it's just a new voice, pleasant voice we're hearing at the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office. Good morning, Miss Marisha. How are you doing?
I'm well, Andre. Good morning to you and good morning to all listeners. It's currently fair and hazy here at the airport in our Tri-Island state by extension. The winds are from the east at 18 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1014.7 millibars, which is above the norm, and it's rising. Present temperature is 27.8 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 76%. Yesterday's maximum temperature 30.9 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature last night 26.6 degrees Celsius. Rainfall over the past 24 hours was 1.5 millimeters, which brings the total for the month of June to 29.1 millimeters. Now for the public forecast valid for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy and hazy with light to moderate afternoon and overnight showers and possible isolated thunder showers. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher in and around the showers. Seas moderate and waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides will be low at 8:43 a.m. this morning and high at 3:06 p.m. Today's maximum temperature is expected to be 30.5 degrees Celsius. Sunset at 6:22 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:43 a.m. So just to recap, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy and hazy, with light to moderate afternoon and overnight showers and possible isolated thunder showers. From the Met Office, Jerry and Marshall.
Jerry, and thank you so very much and have a wonderful day.
Welcome. You as well.
And the guy over there, just tell him pan forever.
He said pan forever. All right, have a great day.
You too, Jerry. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's Real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD. Yeah, and we've got a pretty decent morning for you, you know. Yeah, it's going to be a nice morning. It's going to be a nice morning. You bet your bottom dollar on that. It's going to be a day that you can just about relax, take it easy. Should have the program from Nawasa coming, but I'll have to do a double check on that. But other than that, things are gonna be good. Remember, things ain't happening just so. You gotta make things happen. Who's that? The guy? Yeah, he's here. You wanna see him? Okay, well, he's just about fixing his microphone and so on, get himself together. He's going to put on his headphones in a minute. As soon as he does that, then, we can talk about seeing him. That means he'll be in his full regalia. Side view. Ooh. Look at the camera over there and smile now, man. Excuse me. Take a look at the camera and smile for the people now. And pose for the camera. Morning, Carl Caton. How you doing?
How you doing,
Oh, no, I didn't get your microphone. Yeah, sorry.
Morning, how you doing? What's up?
I'm good.
Alright.
You blessed?
Yeah, how's the weekend, man?
Tiresome?
Because I realize you work Friday into Sunday.
Yeah.
That was taxing though.
Very. Still tired.
Yeah. And I realized you was up and down yesterday because you add a new dimension to the broadcast yesterday. You get people to speak to.
Well, yes, I had to be kind of, tagging people, getting up, going and find a person coming back, that sort of thing, signaling to people, bringing them. But by the way, you saw the broadcast. How was it, though?
It was good.
It was good. Okay,
Yeah.
good to hear. Because I didn't get a chance. I wouldn't have. Well, I wouldn't get a chance to see it myself because we're the ones originating it. So we don't really get a chance to see it. So good morning to all people. I need to do something here, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
I need to first. What? It's 7:30 already, isn't it? 26.
What I need to do?
I need to do a couple of things. I need to do a YouTube thing. I need to send the link for the people via thing. It's a million one things, especially when you don't have your virtual engineer in. That's when the cookie starts to get hard. Okay, so let me put things in perspective of what has to be done. We need to send that link out to those on social media, as many as possible. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then while we do that, we're also gonna be looking for the weather and making sure that came to us over the weekend. A quick check right now, we'll see, not the weather, sorry, water-wise. Today's the 13th, right? Yeah, today's the 13th, so I can water-wise you this morning. Stay with us.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. We have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. When you're moving, which direction you're going, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk. Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
All right, so to all those of you, now I need to get, first thing you need to do for me, Carl, you see that clock up there? Just take it down because it's throwing me off by bunkers. Just take it down. The one behind me is okay, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, but that one in front of me, that's just throwing me off, man. Yeah, that's just take that down, please. Yeah, a chair there will be fine. I need to get a battery for that one as soon as somebody comes in. Wow. I've never been thrown off like that before. All right, so we've got Waterwise. Our time has now moved on to 7:30. It's now time for Waterwise, that's produced by the National Water and Sewage Authority. Stay with us.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Waterwise, a production of the National Water and Sewerage Authority, Nawasa. I am Wendy Chateau. The first phase of Nawasa's expansion of the Carriacou water supply distribution network is being wrapped up, with the team now completing lateral connections and completing reinstatement of driveways, subsequently the connection of customers to the network. Supply was expanded under the project from 6 roads through to Belmont Junction in the first instance, with the installation of 16,500 feet of pipelines. With the expansion of the network and the potential for an increase in its customer base comes the need for the authority to establish a greater presence on the sister isle of Carriacou. In this light, the authority is now inviting applications to fill the posts of supervisor and customer services representative for its soon-to-be-established office in Hillsborough, allowing for seamless interactions with customers. One of the 2 positions is that of a supervisor, who will have responsibility for the authority's Carriacou and Petite Martinique operations, ensuring the effective implementation of Nawasa's policies, strategies, procedures, and operations within Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and maintaining established standards to improve the supply of water to customers. The successful candidate will also be responsible for the supervision of the Nawasa plant and network maintenance and finance activities, as well as identification and preparation of micro-projects. Applicants must possess a BSc in Industrial, Mechanical, or Civil Engineering, a minimum of 2 to 3 years experience in facilities or operations management, with experience in accounting and business management being an asset. The successful candidate should also possess good interpersonal and leadership skills, effective verbal and written communication, familiarity with the use of Microsoft Office software and MEP drawing schematics, understanding of water system hydraulics, possession of a valid driver's license, the ability to work towards achieving deadlines, and effective organizational skills. Remuneration will be based on qualification and experience. The customer services representative will provide service and support to customers and the general public by attending to queries and complaints, collecting and updating payments made to the authority, and effecting disconnections and reconnection services. Duties of the customer services representative include, but are not limited to, processing applications and changes on account forms, collecting monies, as cash or check, from customers, balancing cash receipts and preparing bank deposits, reconciling cash float, preparing invoices for hydrant, a sale to ship and sundry, etc., and performing activities related to collections, disconnection, reconnection, recording, and monitoring of customers' usage. Minimum professional qualification and/or knowledge and experience should include a certificate in CAT, Business Studies, from an accredited training institution, and 5 O-levels, including English, Mathematics, Principles of Accounts, and any other business-related qualifications. The candidate should possess good interpersonal and leadership skills, effective verbal and written communication, and be familiar with the use of Microsoft Office software. As with the supervisor, remuneration will be based on qualification and experience. In both instances, only applications that meet the requirements will be considered. Applications, including a CV and 2 recent testimonials, should be submitted in a sealed envelope and addressed to the general manager. Vacancy for supervisor or vacancy for customer services representative, Carriacou. National Water and Sewage Authority, P.O. Box 392, Lucas Street, St. George's, Grenada. It can also be emailed to nawasa@nawasa.gd. The deadline for receipt of applications for both positions is Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022. Keep in mind that applications received after the closing date will not be considered. With the completion of the expansion of this phase of the project, we encourage individuals in the project area to get connected. You can access application forms at our plant in Seaview, at our payment center at Wayne's Auto in Hillsborough, or on our website at www.nawasa.gd. And that brings us to the end of Waterwise for today. On behalf of the entire team at Nawasa, I am Wendy Chateau, wishing you a fantastic day. Remember to go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting
Rendeck
customers'
Community
needs.
Partnership Initiative, supporting education. To date, we have given 25 libraries away, and we are building the 26th in partnership with the Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative in Carriacou at Dover. It is the second grant that we would have got from Grenlec. We were able to build a 625 square foot library in Dover, and now we are so very grateful.
Grenlec, energizing our community.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness, keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, inset screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Good morning again, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD. You know, one thing this morning, Carl, is that we don't have our, how you call it, our usual engineer.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's when you just, in situations like this is when you tell and I'm going to say it plain here. You tell men from boys, yeah? Yeah. See, when you hit it all night, and you have to do so and get up in the morning, you just have to.
And your famous words, radio can't wait.
Radio can't wait. Radio don't wait on anybody. Yesterday was the weekend. It was a phenomenal one for the NNP. The weekend was a phenomenal one for the NNP. And this is said, Carl, understanding what took place on the weekend.
Yeah.
The NNP to start the weekend, the NNP brought out the young people of this nation in their thousands. They brought out the young people of this nation in their thousands and said, here's what, we love you, we appreciate you. We're going to talk to you, but we're going to let you have some fun.
Yeah.
It's time for you to have some fun. With all the work that you've been putting in, with all the love and respect and what you're showing us, we are going to give you some fun.
Reward you.
We are going to reward you. And reward they did. Massive showing at Plains. For a long time, I haven't seen it that big. Any promoter having a show like that, they're laughing at the end of the show.
I was talking to a guy last night, and he tell me from Montrose, and he see vehicle park from Montrose, people had to walk from Montrose to go Plains.
There you go. But if I give you my story, then oh boy, my story is a harrowing one. Coming out, I really and truly I follow instructions to the police. I follow instructions to the police all time. At all times, I follow instructions to the police. And Friday night was one time I wish I'd never followed the instructions. I wish I had disobeyed the law and gotten locked up. Seriously. Coming out of the playing field where we were, at top goalpost. Coming out of there, but you can make left or right. Left will take you back to the main road. Right will take you through the back road. So I'm like, okay. When coming out there, the warden pointed me to the right. So I'm like, okay, fine. Let's go, let's do it. Because you have to follow the law. Because I'm thinking, why are you sending me right when left will take me to another, where I should make another left and get into Satiers? Because that's where I'm going. But you're sending me away from Satiers. So I'm like, okay, police, they're supposed to know best. And I got to the exit, which is almost obliquely opposite the
tire place.
The tire place. And I got there, Carl, and it was raining and so we had to keep the glass up and have the AC running. And long story short, on the AC run and everything, I think my starting motor now is giving a bit of a bother. Not starting motor, sorry, my alternator is giving a bit of a bother right now because of that. But you had to do what you had to do and not kill yourself. I was there with the two, the boy and the girl.
Yeah.
They're both with me. And we stayed there, Carl, for more than an hour and a half in that position. And then it took us about another hour and a half to get from there. After waiting in one position for an hour and a half, it took us another hour and a half when we got onto the main road, about another hour and a half, close to 2, to get up to Mitzi, right? And by the time you got there, I was just exhausted. The rally finished like about what, 9 o'clock thereabouts, am I correct?
Oh, that time.
And I didn't get home till about after 3. I honestly believe that the police miscalculated. They miscalculated, and I trust they would not do that again with with another function of that magnitude. They just miscalculated totally. And the other thing that I believe really happened is that the police, early up, they allowed junior persons and not senior persons who understands what traffic is going to be like. They allowed junior persons to be on the ground. And this just blew their mind. You can't really fault them. Do you understand? And that was my problem. Because I ended up having to go, when I got to where Mitzi lives, I had to continue right, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
I had to continue right. Gates was like 2 cars behind me. So he didn't see where I went to because I ended up passing Top Hill.
Yeah.
He, Gates, not knowing the Top Hill area and being 2-3 cars behind me.
He passed Tivoli.
He went all the way to Tivoli to come back around to go to Victoria.
Yeah.
That's horrendous. And if you don't know, it was unforgiving. Really and truly, it was unforgiving. And I really, to me at that time, it's just that the police were overwhelmed, and it happens. It happens, at times that they get overwhelmed. And I'm not beating on them. I'm just saying that, hey, maybe a little bit more planning and maybe some more senior officers on the ground to begin with, and then everything will be okay.
Maybe more boots on the ground too.
Maybe more boots on the ground and everything would have been okay.
Okay, it was easy for them, I tell you.
No, it wasn't easy, I know.
I looked at it Sunday before, me and KB, when we was in the Progress Park area, and it wasn't easy for the police. Albeit in events like that, you have to have a clear plan. Where is your exit? You see, exit is important, and you have to stay on top of it, because if you allow drivers to do their own thing, it's a problem.
Yeah, well, it just happened that was one of the occasions that they got it wrong. Oh, put it that way, not to use the wrong word, but they didn't get it the way they wanted to get it. Something went.
You see, in events like this,
something just went off.
In events like this, you ought to have an area designated for basically parking. Persons who are in the venue should only be VVIP persons in the venue and media and so on. So when the event finishes, these people could get away easy. And okay, like you have an event in planes like that, maybe you could have utilized Rose Hill past here, River Sally past here.
A little bit too far, maybe?
No, and shuttle people, you have
people in.
particular vehicles shuttling people in. But you provide security in those areas, so you find when the event finishes, you have an easier flow. You could allow, say, like 10 buses to come and pick up people and go. 10 from this side, so you don't have this thing. You see, some planning has to go into this thing.
Yeah, it overwhelmed them, and one could understand. I'm upset. Trust me, I'm upset, Carl, because I have to do some work on the vehicle. Now, Jay, my friend, John Phillip, had the same problem with his vehicle. And I'm sure other people probably would have had the same problem, because standing and not moving, and you having to run AC and lights and stuff like that, it's going to put a strain
on the vehicle.
It's going to put a strain on the battery, and it's going to put a strain on the alternator. And anyway,
because some Polish friends who actually all 5 o'clock they was out still.
Yeah,
they went through some.
Yeah, the police went through it. The police went through it. Trust me. But it's just that we just have to use this one as a learning experience.
Yeah.
Use this one as a learning experience and move along. More boots on the ground, I believe. And not just more boots on the ground. I believe that one of the things that we need to do too is that our police force, guys who are out at night, they need to be, there were some, but not many, in the vest, so that you could see. Because when you got up to the Garrett's there was, I saw two officers dressed in fatigues, camouflage.
Yeah.
So in the night there, Carl, you can barely see them because it is camouflage. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the police tried. I give them that. They tried, but it's just that one overwhelmed them. They were just overwhelmed by the amount of people.
But the event was an unprecedented event to us.
Right. That is what I'm coming to. The police was seriously challenged, but because the event, I don't think anybody expected that size of crowd at Plains on that particular day. I don't think people expected that.
No, but anyway, the police.
But we can go ahead, because I want to come back to that. I want to go to a phone call because I want to speak to Carl, our new Grenada Football Association president, Mr. Marlon Glean.
We go discuss.
I want to speak to him, and I want to remind Jester Noel. Jester Noel, I know you're listening to me because you usually do. And remember I told you, Jester, Chenny Joseph is going to lose the election. You did not believe me. You thought that Chenny had it sewn up. And I said to you, nope, he is going to lose. And he did. Stay with us, friends. Marlon Glean for a couple of minutes and then we get back into the politics again for another good-looking Monday morning.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you.
It is real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Carriacou, PD Martinique. How you doing? Trust that you folks are having a wonderful one. Well, I was speaking to my friend Jester about a week or so ago, and I told Jester, I said, Jester, Chenny Joseph is not going to be victorious at the elections, and Jester didn't believe me. Well, this morning, we do have, how do they say it in the boxing world, on the wrestling world, and a new president of the Grenada Football Association, Marlon Glean. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Andre, and good morning to all your listeners.
Thank you so very much. Of course, it's the first time I'm ever interviewing you anyway. Yeah, never interviewed you before, did I?
We've had numerous conversations before, Andre, but I think this is the first time I'm actually doing an interview with you.
Yeah, we have had too many conversations, and hold on, and I must rub some salt in the wounds here, Marlon. Hold on, again. I told Jester, I said, Jester, Chenny's gonna lose, and he said to me, no. The rest is history, right? I don't have to say anything again.
That is true.
Congratulations to you, and congratulations to your team, made up of a number of individuals, including my good friend Carl Andel, who is your first vice president. If it's one thing I'm really, really happy with, is someone like Carl really getting an opportunity to make it into the football, to make a serious contribution. But the feeling when you realize that you won?
It was a good feeling to know that we crossed the line. But, a lot of people have been talking about victory and celebrations. And for me, it was never about that. I believe it's too premature to start celebrating. Mm-hmm. What happened on Saturday is that the club just gave us a mandate to change the course, change the direction of Grenada football. I don't think it was a victory. I think the victory comes with results. The work starts now. If we change based on our presentation to all the different clubs during the campaign, if we literally put into practice, if we able to implement all the necessary programs, etc., that we discussed, over the last couple of weeks, then we get a victory. Then we can celebrate one by one. Whether it's doing a national grassroots program and having 5,000 and 7,000 kids playing every Saturday, restructuring the Premier League. As we campaigned over the last couple of weeks, the Premier League champion will get $100,000 rather than the 50,000. Once we're able to implement all the programs and plans that we presented to the clubs, then we'll start taking victories. But for now, I think it's just an opportunity from the clubs. The club said to us, "Hey, we're not happy with the way the football is going. We need you guys to change the direction of football," and we've just been given a mandate. So yes, excited about going forward, but I don't think we should take any victory laps as of right now.
All right, but Marlon, what would you say brought it home to your team? Because there must have been something that your team was touting there to all the footballers and all the different clubs and associations across the island. What brought it home for you guys? What was different?
I think it was a team, actually. You just mentioned Mr. Carl Andel. You know him even better than me. Mr. Andel has been very involved in sports. I wouldn't even say football. Very involved in sports for probably his entire life. Ricky Batchelor. Those guys been holding this together. A number of them from St. Patrick's in particular, have been holding this together for the last 2 years. I think 2 years ago, the clubs led by Batchelor decided that they could not continue to accept from the GFA the mediocre practices, some of the illegal, unethical practices, and they took a stand, especially the Premier League clubs. They took a stand to come together and rebut and stand up against the GFA because of a lot of the practices they didn't believe was in line with football and football development. So this has been going on for the last 2 years. So those guys, I think, they kept it together. They did the hard work. I came in literally about 2 or 3 months ago to just help lead the group into the elections. But in terms of preparations, meetings, making people understand what's happening, making the clubs believe that we can change this thing. Because, over the last couple of years, elections were just a formality. Every year, the president went on a post and he just went over and over. Nobody have the information. Nobody knows about the funds FIFA is given to GFA. And we just went through the motions year after year. But I think finally those guys were able to brought it home to the clubs. And I guess the clubs brought it home to the rest of the country. So the whole process of those guys meeting together and literally planning this for the last 2 years, I think, you have to give these guys the props and for making sure that we're able to do it. And as I said, we're definitely going to change the landscape and change the direction of football.
What is interesting to note here is that you, Marlon, of course, is from St. John, correct?
Correct.
From
Guelph.
Right, you're from Guelph, okay. Then you have Ricky and then you have Carl Andel. And I venture to say it is probably the first time in the history of football in Grenada that the rural areas is basically, I wouldn't say controlling the football, but the rural areas are at the helm in relation to football in Grenada, because most of the past time it would have been someone from the city, that's who is the president. But now you have your first vice president, and is it your second vice president? Is Ricky?
Second vice president, Mr. Randy Campbell, is
also from Guelph. Yeah, Randy. So you have the crux of, well, not the crux, but the creme de la creme at the top is all from the rural areas. Interesting.
So there are 11 executive members got voted in on Saturday, and 10 of the 11, except the St. George's rep, is from the city or from St. George's. But you're right, Andre. GFA is 98 years old this year, and in that 98 years, and somebody may have to correct me, I believe in the 98 years, the president and the leadership of the GFA came from the city. And if you look at the last 20, 30 years, or probably forever in Grenada football, the football has been dominated by the country teams.
That is correct.
But this is the first time the organization is being led by so-called country people. So you're correct.
What does that mean? What do you think the players waking up to this now, the clubs waking up to this now, what do you think they're saying?
I think there's finally hope. I think we've lost the plot at some point. We used to be a footballing country. I remember the days when I played and we played against the Jamaicans. At some point, the only team that would probably beat us consistently, or beat us a lot of times, and probably not consistently, was Trinidad and Tobago. And we were probably second in the Caribbean for many years in football. But I think we've lost the plot, and as a result, we presently rank 160 something out of 211 countries. Just a few years ago, in 2009, we were 89 in the world. So we've dropped from 89 out of 211 countries to 169, I believe, out of 211 countries. So the football is poor, and a lot of times we talk about we're in the Gold Cup and we're in the A division of the Nations League, but this is not a true reflection of football on the ground in Grenada today. We have no players leaving Grenada going to play in Europe. And other countries are doing it. Little St. Kitts is doing it. Bermuda is doing it. So I think the clubs this morning are waking up knowing that finally there is some hope to revive the football. Finally there's some hope for young kids at 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 years old to be playing football consistently, because we're going to start soon a summer program. We haven't had that in quite a number of years. Between July and August, we're hoping that in about 10 centers around the country, we can have a program for young kids to come out and play football for the rest of the summer. And come September, we want to launch a national grassroots program, that we're hoping that we can bring out 7,000 or 8,000 kids throughout Grenada and Carriacou and PT Manning. Bring these kids out consistently every Saturday morning, where coaches are going to be paid for their services. And the whole idea is to grow the game. We're not trying to make Pelés and Maradonas out of the grassroots program. The idea is to let these kids come in, let them get refreshment and a t-shirt that says Grenada Grassroots, let them come out and have fun and enjoy themselves, and that leaves them to want to come back the following Saturday and then the following Saturday. And all of a sudden we have a lot of lovers of football, a lot of 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds who just love the game and want to be part of it every Saturday. Once we can do that over a period of time, then we're going to see growth. Then we're going to see development.
Where are you going to get the money from?
We're going to get the money. And that's a good question, Andrew, because I'm just learning yesterday that the GFA is broke. So we need to figure that part out. I had a meeting yesterday with the finance manager, and I've been told that we do not have any money in GFA. But there is hope. We're coming to the end of this cycle of FIFA Forward at the end of this year, 2022. A new cycle starts the beginning of 2023, so there'll be new money from FIFA. We just have to manage what we have right now to the end of whatever is left at FIFA and CONCACAF. The next disbursement of funds from FIFA comes in July. So we have to figure how do we manage between today and July in terms of salaries and utility bills, etc. Once we could get past July, then we should have sufficient funds for the summer program. And then the new money comes in at the end of the year to deal with the national grassroots program, Premier League prices, etc. We don't have to pay it at the beginning of the tournament, thank God. So while we can advertise the prize money for Premier League, etc., we're going to get sponsors. A lot of companies have already been calling me for the last 2 days, showing an interest in getting involved in supporting the football. I'm very hopeful that our league's going to be sponsored finally after years and years of no sponsorship by the GFA. So we're gonna get people involved. We're gonna get companies involved, and we're gonna get the funds from FIFA.
Okay, that's good to know. Another thing here, and I'm crying out. I'm not a footballer, but I'm crying out for our local players. And here's what it is, Marlon. As a local player coming from, let us say, Eagles FC, and you play and you train and you train and you train and you really do well and you get to a certain level. And when you believe, okay, fine, you've gotten to that level and you can make it onto the national team, yes, you do get selected for the national team. But when there is a game, you get relegated to the bench, and then you're seeing a number of persons who were never in the picture. And for a week or a couple of days, they come in and they're part of the picture now, and you who've been busting your gut here on the local scene, on the opportunity and the time for you to play, you get relegated to the bench.
Andre, I feel strongly about this. Matter of fact, on the campaign, I've been pushing this. I don't understand it. I don't understand why we do it. It makes absolutely no sense. You know, we have a Premier League. I'm not even talking about the conference, because the conference have a lot of players playing in the conference. We have a Premier League with over 200 players. And as you say, these guys are playing not just because they love the game, not because they want to win the Premier League, but a lot of them are playing because it's their dream to represent Grenada. Mm-hmm. It's their dream to go on and play professional football at some point. Now, these guys play, and as you said, we bring in players from abroad. I have absolutely no problem with us bringing players from abroad, but I believe we must have some policy as to the standard and the level of these players that come in. So I've been on. If you watch the USA game on Friday, the commentator said that one of the guys is playing in the English fifth division. One of the guys, they called him, whatever it is, I think he was going to be substituted, and he plays in the 5th division in the US. That means this player cannot be good enough. Because if you're in England, Andre, you have an English passport. Your English passport, you grew up in England, played through academies, etc. You're now playing on the Grenada national team, and you're playing in the 5th division. That means you're not good enough. Now, if we have 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys playing in the English Premier League, the Championship, or one of the top leagues in England or in Europe, I could understand we bring them. It's no-brainer that we bring them to play with the national team. Yeah. But we should not be bringing in a guy who's 30-something years old and playing in the US 2nd division. He's 30-something years old. This is the opportunity to provide opportunities for 17-year-old, 18-year-olds to get on national team and get exposure. Correct. So 1, they're able to live their dream to represent Grenada. But 2, it also exposes them to clubs who are watching these leagues, these Nations League, World Cup qualifying, etc. Clubs are watching, and these guys can be providing an opportunity to play professional football. So we're literally denying or taking away the opportunity for young kids in Grenada who were born and who grew up in Grenada. We're literally taking the opportunity from them to live their dream. You're correct. This has to stop, and it has to stop immediately.
Well, I'm going to hold you to your word, Marlon. I'm going to hold you to that is going to stop, because it is something that has been really and truly aching me for a long, long time now, and I really couldn't understand. And I at one point in time, I started to believe, well, when we give these players the opportunity to play, then the clubs or whatever they're playing for will be paying the GFA some monies. I started to think that.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. I think we just have this complex, and it's somewhere in our culture. Sometimes we have this complex that we bring in foreign players, because in Grenada, a lot of times we see foreign as being better. And it's not just in football, in academics, in government, in all aspects of our culture, we always believe foreign is better. And if you look on the ground right now, I saw the Grenada U20 national team play last year sometime, and there's a good bunch. There's probably about 6 or 7 really good under 20 national team players. I think presently there might be 1 or 2, if all that, in the national team setup. But in reality, there should be 7 of them, rather than getting these 5th division, 6th division, and no division. As a matter of fact, one of the guys who played in the game the commentator said he's unattached. That means he's playing for no clubs. He's not playing football presently, but he's on our national team. But we're bringing him because he came from England.
Yeah. We need to work on that. Well, let me tell you this. Let me give you a surprise. I didn't just wake you up early this morning not to say anything to you, or not just to talk about the football administration and the football on the field. I also want to do so and say to you that we need to sit, we need to talk, so that together at Real FM we can do what I've always wanted to do, which is get football into the ears of people, and which will, of course, cause more people to go out to the games.
Andrew, we have to do that. We have to do that. We definitely need to talk about that. You know better than anybody else that in the 80s and 90s, this was a normal something.
Yep.
As to why we're not doing it right now, I don't understand. But you're correct. We have to sit and we have to figure out as to how we bring football to everybody in Grenada. So there's someone sitting right now somewhere in St. Patrick's and Andrew St. John. Somebody sitting right now listening to this program. And they're not aware as to what's going on with football in Grenada.
That's true.
Andre, if I ask you to name 5 guys on the national team right now, can you name 5 guys?
No, you could ask me to name one, and I can't.
That's a problem.
I can't.
If I ask you,
I don't know who they are.
to name 5 players who played in the 80s, immediately you can call probably the entire team.
Of course. Of course.
And the reason you can call the entire team is because these guys became household names.
Yeah.
They were on the radio every day. They were in your communities. Every game you saw them. But now, when we bring in 13, 14 players from England, you have no idea who these guys are. Yeah. I was watching the game against the USA, and I didn't know anybody but the 2 or 3 Grenadians that was on the field when the game started.
Yeah, and that is sad. That is sad. We have to work on that. So, Marlon, hey, I will stick in Carl's ear. Don't worry, I'll stick in Carl's ear.
Please do.
Maybe not Ricky, because we don't have the best of relationship, but I'll stick in Carl's ear.
Please do that. Please do that.
All right, so take care of yourself, and thanks for talking, man. Thanks for talking to us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, great.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Speaking there to Marlon Glean, the jefe of the football in Grenada now, Carl?
Yeah, the chief.
The chief. Sounds good. I like what I'm hearing from him. And he's talking the same language I've been talking to Chenny for years, which is, hey, these are things that we need to do. And it hasn't been done, and that is really, really sad.
Well, what I like about it, he in the simple way he puts forward those things, which is very meaningful. And I always had that concern about the national team and persons who play. Because I also, like we had a discussion recently, I was asking one of the guys and say, if local players play, would they do worse than how these guys doing now?
I doubt.
So then why not glod in your own set of people and give them that exposure and experience? Because you see, one time Grenada was one of the top teams in the region, in so much as there was a particular time when Trinidad was about the World Cup. They refused to play us, Grenada, and they go and try to get games with St. Vincent because they didn't trust to play Grenada to lose. Because they didn't warming up to play the USA. And they tell themselves, if they come in Grenada and lose, that will be thing. So they rather go win, see, and then when they go show win. Like how Grenada was.
In the 1990 World Cup? When not World Cup, the Shell Cup.
And based on tactical errors we lose?
Tactical? Not tactical. Based on a player.
Yeah.
Stooping down to tie his boot.
Yeah.
That's where the open
well, it's
came.
something tactical.
Okay, but and then remember, Carl, that out of that era of football, for Grenada got Mr. Caribbean.
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago had Dwight York, who went on
and
to
Russell.
play. Yeah, and Russell Atapi, and they both
Lee
went on to...
The caliber of players Trinidad had at the time and we matched them.
Yeah.
Was big thing. And I don't think we had the best team because I could remember the coach at that time, I think it was Ram Fox. And Ram Fox was saying if he had the Drayton guy in that tournament, he would have win.
Dougie Drayton.
So that kind of wit, like after Trinidad in football during those time with us.
And we have to get back to that level.
And we have, I think we have the talent and
we have the
thing
talent
about
and
us.
so to get back to that level, most definitely. So it's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.
But at the end of the day,
WFMGrenada.com. Carl, you're saying something?
At the end of the day, as Mr. Glynn rightly said, it is not a victory until we get results.
Correct.
And too often, when we're in situation like we just had to, we like to break down everything on there and feel we could build from the start again. I hope that'll happen.
We're going to take a break, friends, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and coming soon, our Grandand sub-office. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, your financial security is guaranteed.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at basically your whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, boats of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what.
So we've spoken about the football, Carl. So it's time for us to speak to the politics. And I started by saying this morning it was a wonderful weekend for the NNP. because they had two humongous, or to use a new word that I made a couple of years ago, gigantinormous. That just means really, really, really big. That's gigantinormous. You like
What,
that?
you consult Webster?
As a matter of fact, somebody asked me that when I made the word. Okay. I made that one, and I made another word, hotastic. I mean, a mixture of hot and fantastic. Hotastic. But you think I should send them a note or something?
Yeah, you should consult Webster.
Yeah, gigantinormous. So they had gigantinormous events for this weekend. I believe that they kind of like outdone themselves. And let's start with the youth rally first. What do you think?
Well, the youth rally was one for the ages. Whether you politically in allegiance with NNP or against NNPD, the rally was one for the ages. The thing about the rally is the NNP youth, as you say, was rewarded. And what they were rewarded was not something mediocre or run of the mill. It was something gigantic. So I didn't attend, but looking at it, getting the views from people, it was something well put together and enjoyed.
One of the things with people who attend, like myself, when you attend and you're working, Carl, it is very, very difficult for you to keep abreast with what is taking place, because you have work ahead of you, and you have to ensure that the people who are listening at home, that they're hearing the proper things, and that you're saying the proper things to the people who are listening, people who are not there, people who are viewing. And sometimes things would fly past you. You would mention it, you would speak to it, but Carl, every time you say something, then you try to cleanse your thoughts, because you have so many other things that's gonna come your way to say.
So did you pick up the 6-star general?
Yes, I picked up that one because I was having a drink of water at that time. So I picked up the 6-star general as mentioned by Crawford.
Yeah, did you pick up Safer Hands versus Uncertain Hands?
No. Where was that one?
Crawford.
Crawford again?
Yeah.
Oh.
One thing about the Jamaicans, you see in that political lingo, you can't beat them.
There was one I picked up from her. Don't accept a shirt from a naked man.
Nah. And be careful who you give your shot to.
Yeah. That one was that to me was big.
But what hit it for me is the level of respect that she brought to the meeting for Dr. Mitchell by his contemporaries and colleagues. You know. The kind of respect they have for him, unlike a few people in Grenada. He is a revered guy, in their opinion. But you have a few here who didn't get ambassadorship, or who didn't get to be Minister of Tourism, or who didn't get to be senators. They try to think, but when you hear people come from outside and speaking of, you have to understand the content of the man. But I like the 6-star general.
You like that?
Because I always used to tell you, I refer to him as the poor people general.
And you got that from who did you get?
A Jamaican.
A Jamaican guy gave you that one, right?
Because you see, there's levels to this thing. And when you're talking about the military and politics, there's levels. And you could be a general but 1 star.
Okay.
When you're a 6-star general or a 5-star general, you're ordinary.
It's like upwards of
once in a generation man.
Yeah, he was a Jamaican too. Colin Powell, 5-star general.
Yeah.
Not an easy man, yeah?
Mm-hmm. When they sit in the same room with Brigadier and so on. Not ordinary people. And in terms of the politics, Kit Mitchell is what is that?
He's up at that level.
And the rally last night again was one, and the opposition people keep talking about contents and issues. And they're looking at it from a yellow lens. There are a lot of things I look through politically from a green lens, but there are times that I take off my dark shades and I open my eye. And if you listen, the deliveries last night at the NNP rally was nothing about hype. And Mr. Akima Paul put the thing in perspective. And that's what we've been saying and I've been trying to say. It is the NNP, a team tried, tested, proven, delivered. And against a group of people who want power. Because it is a group of people who want power, and persons must understand. They're only interested in power, Andre Donna. It's nothing about Grenada. That is why they could comfortably make these pie in the sky promises. If they care about Grenada, they'll be careful not to make these promises they know are no good. But the whole issue is about power. And they're trying like a chameleon, like I go on and changing. Because they start up first about young, you don't hold. Then they go about we different, we not the same, NDC, you don't hold. Then they come back and they talk about the dream team. So they changing as long as they changing the goalposts as long as they go, because they conforming to the point that they are not really a party. They are a group of people who just want power at any cost. So they'll say and do anything. So you beat up all the NNP youth rally. Next Sunday you say you are youth rally, you're bringing artists too. Then you followers, you don't trying to educate them. You say now they could have take the money and do that. But he has something they call campaign financing. So whilst he was frying, you remember when KB say they frying breadfruit and thing and bakes? Whilst he was frying breadfruit and making bakes and having breakfast, the NNP was out there looking for finance. You go in Miami and asking for 4 million EC, 1 point something US, to help in your campaign. But nobody don't beating up on you. But you're saying how NNP should have used the money and you're showing P.T. Matnick police station and so on. That shows your inexperience. That shows you don't really care for people. It's just about trying to get in power. Because in all your pronouncement, even when you're saying you're asking the NNP candidates to come and join you and all this kind of thing. And because you eat, sleep, and drink NNP every time you have a meeting and your MC and them, as they start up NNPites. That what they in their mind. So these people are them maybe well voting for NNP too. Every time you have a function, even last night, NNPites. And that is the reality of the situation. And then you come and talk about substance and issues. But you should have listened to Akima last night. She had class last night, you know?
Yes, she had a class.
And she challenged them as we do on Real FM here. Facts, check it.
Yeah, check it out.
Don't just go with it.
Google it.
Google it. And see what she's saying. And listen her experience with Dr. Mitchell. Andrew Donald, one thing I could tell you, and I challenge the National Democratic Congress, whether the party or the group or the cabal, any set. You talk about Dr. Kit Mitchell and you just talk about corruption. I challenge them any Saturday, Andrew Donald, bring the evidence downstairs Real FM on the things they perceive is corruption. Secondly, they start, you see, and they cannot come out boldface, so they use their political operatives and so on and try to joke about the oil. When they fully well know, ask Nazim Bok why they support Grindberg against Grenada, and you will understand the situation with the oil. Ask Nazim Bok why did he support Grindberg against Grenada. Then the Prime Minister never bamboozled anybody. You was in the interview when the question was asked about the oil. in the Prime Minister in the gardens. And the Prime Minister indicated our country don't have the resources to try to explore oil on its own. You have to get partners who has the resources. And they are the ones who determine what was found. And fact, some oil was found. That is a fact. That is not no joke. And they could Google it again. But what the people, what exploring the oil say, it would not make economic sense. So more has to be found before they start refining and others.
And then in comes COVID.
So nothing about where the oil, so, and they can boldfacedly go and ask about it on the campaign. Eh? So they're using some people who didn't get senator and who didn't get Minister of Tourism and who didn't get ambassador to talk about it. But nothing has been hidden with the oil concern. What is hidden? Why Nazim Bok and the NDC at the time support grind bug over Grenada? That's the question they have to ask. So when they're making all the shenanigans and they're talking about, well, they try to bring in the little jobs now and then with the shrimp farm and so on. But they don't ask him tell us what about the chicken farm in Montrose. They don't ask him why he had the two little dog tie on some tree up there and you don't go and see after it. That's the kind of questions you have to ask. Do ask him, if you really care about Grenada and you're a patriot and you love Grenada, ask all the questions relevant for Grenada.
Ask everything.
Because you want to show Grenada in a bad light. You want to tell the world Grenada is the worst place. Grenada worse than Nablus and the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Because that's how you're thinking Grenada. But you're still asking people to give you Grenada to run the same place you're damaging. So it's like one caller call Friday and say, you have a lot of David Copperfield around. So if you give them, they go just ipity pow and Grenada will come back. And the whole fact that they continue, Andre, to tell people nothing happening in Grenada, it means it was not here. So it is proper when every time they say nothing has been done in Grenada to ask them, what did he do? The Monkuma Road.
Yeah.
They say nothing has been done. Where did he do?
What's happening there right now?
So,
nothing.
So I'm saying, yes, I
Nothing.
understand election period this year, and I understand the Congress only does be around election time. Only when election time, Joseph Andal and them know it are railing. Yes, Joseph Andal, you only election time you does know it are railing on the side of the road. All them other times you doesn't be around to know. But as election come, you know, where you want bridge to cross Ravine. You only does know that time. So what you're telling us, you only have to be in governance to do anything for the people of Grenada? Because look at the track record of the team of the New National Party. And if you go down the checklist, all of them have done something for the country when not in governance. So you come in and say, oh, you have all the plans now put in governance. So only when you enter governance you could do anything for the people of Grenada. And what is instructive to note, I saw something making the rounds on the book recently. And the person put the thing in its proper perspective. You know. He said, if a man, a corporate lawyer, who only knows to fight against the people for big companies for money, how come now you're telling me that man is the best thing since sliced bread to rule this country when all he knows is to fight against the Grenadian public, fight against poor people. And then he tries to tell you he could wear the hat of a professional to be heartless to the Grenadian people. And then he could come and be the best thing. That can work. And the Grenadian people is seeing through that. And they're getting so desperate, Andre Donald, that I won't doubt if they take NNP jerseys and start to put money in it and make people believe that's so. Because they start to say making Haiti already. But some of them is making Haiti too. They forget that part. So I tell you, everything they do is giving you the impression it's just and Akima rightly said, it's just a group of people who want power. And the Grenadian people have to understand, especially the people on the safety net programs are talking to them. And are talking to you plain so you go here. These people and them don't have no intention to do anything for you. Because hear what they're saying. They saying how the elderly people could pay for people to see after them. So what will happen if they win? The elderly people go have to pay to see after them, and all those who walk in doing that, the roving caregivers, I don't know where they're going home. So it's in our interest to vote for all the work. Those persons on them who are receiving things under the social safety net, they say all the lazy, higher thing, higher dependent. So I don't know if I don't vote for NNP. All you voting out what are getting plain and simple. You don't have no going around sideways in it. These people don't concern about the local people and the small man, because they refer to the small man as greedy and stupid. And every time you hear them speak, that is how they calling these people. So these people have to understand the cabal or the NDC, because they say they was new, but all man Jack hogging up like two turtle dove unto the nation. They trying to preach love, but we know. And here how they having the meetings on the and thing. Deacon Mitchell and Andy, they in Carriacou. They one side. Mm-hmm. And the other side, the Tillman Thomas side, they in Guav.
Cabal split.
Yeah, they didn't go out. And how it is. And Joseph Andal, you going all about and see how you win, but you're begging your political leader to come by you 2 times this week.
Well, yeah, they have a meeting there tonight, isn't it?
They are meeting in Davie and Shantimel.
Tonight?
Well, one meeting is in Davie and one in Shantimel this week, yeah. But you're telling people you win already. And as they say, what? All the time you've been around here. And you know, only after you speak of it Friday, I try to look at the gentleman. The gentleman has contributed nothing, you know.
Who's that?
Joseph Andal.
But I said that on Friday, didn't I?
The gentleman who are running in the East too has contributed nothing to St. Patrick's.
Nothing.
And they saying they want change. So why would you want to change to give 2 persons who has contributing nothing? Nothing. And at this stage, you still making excuse when you go by people and tell you don't get money, they don't give you money yet to campaign. So that's why I go continue to tell the people. Yeah, you were saying something, go on.
No, I was just re-emphasizing, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not, because Pamela Moses would have taught in years as a school teacher and be a principal at SAS. So the community would have benefited because there would have been students who would have gone to school in SAS from the St. Patrick community. But I know that Andal probably did some teaching, but where? I'm trying to find out where. I don't remember. I don't remember whether or not he has done anything at all to impact the St. Patrick community in any way. And he is, I would say this, he is an educated hombre because he studied in Cuba. I don't know what he studied, but he studied in Cuba. And there's so many, as Mr. Pierre would say, every child in Grenada should learn a foreign language.
Yes.
Francis Pierre would say that time and time again. How come Joseph Andal, being at least bilingual because he can speak Spanish?
Because he has translated for people before.
Right. So how come Joseph Andal has not taught anybody that I know, and let me put it that way, that I know in St. Patrick, how come he has not given of his service to the people? Listen, he has not given of his service to the same people that he once voted for him now.
Because if you look at Bello been in basketball, football, all this thing. Mm-hmm. So you know of Bello, you know of Bello. What could you say about Josie?
He has served with Spot. Bello has.
Yes, in Coltia with the inspector and all these artists and him.
Joseph Andal, remember we pointed out that David Batiste would have been a better choice to the people of St. Patrick West than Joseph Andal. David Batiste would have been a better choice because at least people like David Batiste, and by David Batiste I'm speaking Fisher here, they would have served the community of Shantimel per se. They would have served. David, served on what do you call it, COD?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the president of COD at one point in time, but he served the people.
And he's a man who play a lot of cricket and football and things.
Yes. Do you understand?
In so much as the same thing on the East, our friend, he may be not interested in politics, per se. Kyron Likoto either make a better candidate than Dennis Connell. And I'm saying that I'm an NNP and he's a NDC and he would make a better candidate than Dennis Connell. He's a teacher by profession.
Mm-hmm.
He does teach maths. And I know a lot of people he help pro bono. And a lot of people he help otherwise. So he's somebody, if you run in, you could say, that man go do something for people. But you can't say that about Dennis Connell. And they telling you how they give them a chance for what?
A chance to do what? To continue doing nothing? Because that's what you're doing. Somebody just sent, our good friend Johnny just sent, and he said he thinks that Andal taught Spanish at TAMCC. Okay, fine, I give you that. But I'm saying, Andal, what have you done for us lately?
Yes.
Us in St. Patrick's West. What have you done? What have you done? That is what I'd like to hear from you. It's not about you coming out. It's like, I don't know what fruit comes out every 4 years, Carl. Maybe with those palmist trees, those tall palmist trees.
I don't even know.
That they bear one every 4 or 5 years or whatever, or every year. I don't think it's every year. But that is my problem. And I think it is time that the Grenadian people do Sunday wake up and they realize what's happening, what's taking place. Here you have individuals. Dennis Cornwall. I didn't know you, Dennis, and I know quite a lot of people in the St. Patrick area. I didn't know you until you appeared on the political scene, brother. You need to do better than that, and you know you need to do better than that. I think you have his brother campaigning for him in America.
Who?
Is it his brother or his cousin or whatever?
That's who.
The one that used to play football. What's his name?
Oh, Robinson Cornwall?
Robinson Cornwall.
His brother.
Is his brother?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like he's campaigning for him in America. I wonder if he come in and vote. What do you think? He coming?
Well, he should come.
You think he should?
Yeah. Well, I personally tell him he should come and help his brother because he more know than his brother.
Well, yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I tell him he should take some time and come and help his brother. Because Andrew Donald, I believe politics is grassroots and people, and everybody know I'm NNP biased, but that does not mean I would like to see the other party don't making sense still. Because if the other party is up there, you go make my candidate, you hold my candidate honest and make her do more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want.
We have a caller. Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Andrew Donald, and good morning to, I don't know what to call that policeman name, no? Good morning.
Yeah, Squatty.
Good morning.
Yeah.
And good morning to all the Grenadians home and abroad. Miss Smith, good morning, and a special good morning to Miss Akina Paul, the lady from Victoria that spoke. Yes, taking everything. And Grenadians, I hope all you listen. And also to the lady that sang, and she asked us to pray, and we continue praying. You know? So all I have to say is, I'm just waiting. Come kingdom time, I'm waiting. And I want all the NDC supporters out there. You know? I will never vote for NDC again, never. I did vote for them already. When Peter was there, when I was living in the town of St. George. I will never vote for NDC. I'm telling nobody who to vote for because I remember Mr. Donald. I see some trouble on the terminal to pay my rent when I was a supporter of the NDC. And I have friends abroad that is listening to me. Then they used to help me. And after they get kicked out by the Grenadian people and they lost, 3 months after NNP took office, Miss Camille could have paid she rent and the terminal without help from a friends abroad. Up to this day, I know them no money under the NNP government. Under the NNP government. So I'm appealing to the Grenadian people, please, y'all make all your choice. And I hear people saying that the Prime Minister, good morning, Mr. Prime Minister, he do nothing for Grenada. He don't do nothing for Happy Hill and Breezan and Cherry Hill. Watch. Even before I come and live up here, roads in Cherry Hill, the long step when you reach by living from Canal coming up, these people do walk all day by roads where it was mud, people get road. Up here, house, toilet, bathroom, house bill, school. And you know, you have the people that have the belly to say that money do nothing. Well, if you don't put a hotel up here, but he did a lot for Grenada, Caribbean, Pity Martin. Give the man what he deserves, no people. Some of y'all say all these Christians that praying, I mean, I don't live in America. I live in Grenada and have eyes to see what is going on in my country. Give him what you to him. Don't say they do nothing. In all the prime ministers that pass in Grenada, Caribbean, Pity Martin, Dr. Kit Mitchell do the most for this country, and nobody can tell me to do. He did the most in this country, and some of us are the patient to wait because they promised you something and you didn't get it. Your mother never promised you something, and they don't have the money to give you and you have to wait. Grenadian ungratefulness is a cause. When I see some people in bushes here with a yellow jersey, I don't have a problem with that, you know. But the help they get, the help they get from that man, I see when my eyes going in the office on a Thursday, they get in the boxes of groceries where nobody are helping all you. Where they didn't shoot. I mean, none of the NDC supporters that type in power now don't have an office. Didn't have an office nowhere in Grenada. That somebody supporters could have go to them on a Monday or on a Friday to air a concern about this country. None of them. None. They have an office. None of them had to go to the office somewhere in Grenada so that the members could have go to speak to them. Are you ungrateful to the people? You have to stop that. God don't like dirtiness, but there is a God above. Papa God never start a work and he don't finish it. And he's going to finish what he has to do for us. Have a blessed day, Grenada. Miss Smith, good morning. And Mr. Watts, Patricia, have a blessed day. Have a blessed day, Grenada. God bless all you. And let's continue praying. Prayer is the key.
Got you.
Have a blessed day.
You too, my love. Take care. Prayer is a key. 840, what was it, 49? 47. Or is it 49? Anyway, 840 something around there, man. She cat what happened then?
No, Carmen, he did thing on the head, but after a little research, I understand why the cabal or the group for the rest of the election campaign I go refer them to the group who want power. The group who want power has done nothing for nobody in Grenada. That is why they could say nothing has been done. Comfortably so.
Right. I want us to add something to that, Carl. And you call them a cabal, you call them a group now. And the most baffling thing for me, Carl, is a friendship takes years to build, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. A friendship is not developed this morning for tomorrow morning.
They believe in social media.
But
so
no.
as somebody send you a friend request, is your friend on social media.
Because I say this, the political leader of the group, he cannot claim, God, to know anyone of his cabinet for as many as 6 months,
Nah.
None, He cannot claim to know anyone, any member of his cabinet for longer than he has been.
Yeah, because even Andy admitted after he talked to him, he said that the guy.
We've got a call online. Let's see if we can take that call and see. Hold it there. We're gonna see. Good morning. How you doing?
Hi.
How are you?
Good morning.
Yes.
How's it going?
Okay, for the time being. How things going with you?
Great, man. Great.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if you have been making a proper analysis of the present so-called NDC. Are you aware that even before the election is called, the NDC party is being disintegrated?
Explain that one.
No. Look at what happened in Guam. You saw the persons who were on the stage in Guam?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at that.
All right. Hillman Thomas, Nazim Bok, Philip, Hostiweda. That's the original NDC. So what this guy come to realize, that defeat is a must for them. So they are preparing themselves for after the defeat to take back the party from Dick Mitchell. That's exactly what happened there, because to them, they realize that the 6th General will retire. So there will be an opening for them to see if they could regroup and surface once more. So what they are doing now is preparing themselves for after the defeat, take back the party from Dick Mitchell. So Dick Mitchell is only the temporary. The party is being disintegrated right in front of our eyes right now, even before election is held. So this is something that we need to analyze closely. This is something we need to analyze closely. The party right now is disintegrating for our eyes. Think about that. Also, now, people politics, people. In order to get into politics, you must be a people person. And to be a people person doesn't come overnight. It's not something that you get up one morning and you become a people person. This is something that has to be ingrained in you. That's supposed to be part of your upbringing, being people oriented. And most of the NDC candidates are not people persons. They just come on the political scene because they were asked or they're looking for a candidate to run. And in situations like that, that is very dangerous because they don't have a philosophy. To be in politics, you must have a philosophy. Are you pro-working class? Are you anti-working class? Are you pro-people? Are you anti-people? Most of the candidates, study them closely. They just emerged 4 months ago, 8 months ago. No track record of being involved in any activity in the community to show that they are people, person-oriented. So as you rightfully said, it's only a group trying to gain state power. And when you gain state power without a philosophy, everything must crumble. Because you don't have a group that is united in a philosophy. You just have a group there to run for an election, hoping to gain state power. But when you gain state power, how are you going to manage state power if you don't have a ingrained philosophy? Finally, I want the Grenadian people to think deeply about this election. The world we're living in today is not the world 10 years ago. The world is in a very precarious situation presently. And because of that, you need stable leadership to manage Grenada at this time. You can't get persons that don't have experience in running a country to be head to manage the country presently. Because on the horizon, I don't know if you all have been in the conflict situation in the world. A recession on the horizon coming for you. There is a recession coming. And the next 3 years will be crucial for the world. And you can't persons without experience in that situation. Also, let's assume that the group that is offering themselves to take state power, get state power, it will take them at least 4 years to get the feet in the water. It will take them about 4 years to get the feet in the water. And by the time they fully understand the running of government and how things work, it's time for another election. And by that time, we go back 20 years. Because nothing will be achieved, because it will be a learning process for all of them. Because all of them never had experience in running a country. So these are things that Grenadians have to sit and think about deeply. Right about now in the world, we can't take chance to put a group of people that never had experience in running country. Times are too difficult for us to take that chance. Because, as I said, the next 3 years will be crucial for the world. A recession is on the horizon. And if we don't have proper leadership to manage that crisis that is about to come, mind you, Grenada will be not the country we know it to be. That's my contribution, man. Take care.
All right, take care. Thank you very much for calling. This is Real. This is 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Call. This caller said this.
Crucial. In your this your reading, a crucial. I'm out on the rock now, with no clothes on my back. Yeah.
Big tune call and big statement by the caller there. It's a crucial time. It's not a joke time.
No.
You know, this is not give me a chance time and let me see if I can handle it. This is not, okay, fine, I'm going to take out VAT for a year and see how the thing is running and see if it's a good thing to do. That's not what it is, you know. This thing different. This thing is different, Carl.
That's the real thing. That's not no play thing, that's not child's playing.
That's not manje popotna.
No.
They
aren't blowing dust the whole 13.
No. They're not taking dust, make mud, and building house under house. You know?
No.
This thing is a different thing. You understand?
Yeah, man.
You know, people have to understand this. You know you're going in town. Eh? Andre just get his license yesterday for a bus. You go full up Andre bus and Lisandere. But you ain't thinking? We've got another call, Carl. Let's take it. We'll come back. Yeah? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Donald.
Nashville, Tennessee. What's up?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, my brother.
Okay, talk to me.
It's going to be a real hot one here today. It's gonna be a real hot one here today. It's gonna be 99 degrees.
Yeah, I was hearing that. I was hearing that this morning before I left home. I was looking at the news, and it was saying that the temperatures will be 30 and plus degrees above normal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But something that I wanted to say. I have not been in Grenada. I've never voted in Grenada before because I've left Seoul for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I started following politics in Grenada from the last election, and there is totally something different happening in this election. And by the way, Keith Mitchell is my cousin. He's my mother's nephew. All right, and I'm not supporting Keith Mitchell because he's family, but I'm supporting Keith Mitchell because he's a great person. He has great personality. He's a people person. And you cannot adapt being a people person overnight. This is something that you have to be embedded in you and something that you have inside that you can bring out and you can show people. You can adapt this, or you can be pretentious when you do things like that. I follow the boat rallies and I look at it, and I must first say kudos to you for bringing those rallies so us outside of Grenada can actually see what's going on.
Thank
and
you.
that was great coverage both times. And I especially enjoyed last night. My wife is from Jamaica, and we sat and watched it last night, and she was telling me she have never seen an election that runs so smoothly, because in her country there will be war and people are dying already because it's so heated. But the point I'm trying to make, though, is that the responsibility of the people in Grenada, and not only that, the people that are leading the Grenadians are people that has responsibility, and they are not there to point fingers of the opposition. I listened to Dr. Kit last night, and he's not pointing a finger of the opposition and say that any bad things about them. But what I saw from him is that pointing out the facts that they are not prepared to run this country. Grenada is standout in the Caribbean now, and we are probably in the top. We may be one of the smallest islands in the Caribbean, but we are standout to be among the top countries in the Caribbean. And if we do that, and we allow this new group to come in, it's going to set us back almost 100 years, because they have no experience whatsoever. And I'm listening to them, and I pulled them up, I Googled them, and I realized that some of them not even employed. How are you going to tell people that you can help them and you don't have help for yourself? That parable that lady from Jamaica used yesterday about the naked man,
Yeah.
I hope a lot of Grenadians got that parable, because it's a very, very, very smart and important parable for the well-being of Grenada. I really did enjoy the concert last night, the rally last night, and I believe I have a question for you, though. How much people do you think was at that rally last night?
No, that's an interesting question. I never looked at it that way. How many people would have been there? All right. You see, it's difficult because I really didn't look at it. I didn't look at the crowd because of where I was seated. I had to take the shots that I was getting from the camera. And you see,
okay.
And then the shots would not be at a proper angle for me to judge. I would have had to go out and take a step up, like onto the stage, and look at the crowd and be able to sectionize the crowd, and therefore be able to give you a proper analysis of what the crowd was like last night. The only thing I can say, it was a huge one.
But here's the thing, though. the gentleman from St. David's did I kind of estimate the crowd to be over 50,000 people.
Well,
And based on what I'm seeing,
no,
it looks like that.
it
It
couldn't
looks
be.
like it was
Remember that.
over 50,000 people.
It couldn't
Now,
be.
here is the thing, though.
No, hold on.
Numbers don't lie.
No, but it couldn't be
All right?
50,000 because we only have 110, 112,000 population, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we could not have had 50,000 people there. 50 or 15? Nah.
Well, he's saying that he believed that it's
Well, of
bigger than
course.
the last one.
It was
And,
bigger than the one
so
that.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking that.
No, it was bigger. There was one there last election, and this crowd this time was bigger than the one for last elections. The crowd that came out.
Okay.
But 50,000
Well,
people know that
the
50,000
numbers
people,
don't
that
really
was
lie.
50.
And I'm telling you that if everybody was there last night was registered and is voting for the NNP, the numbers can't lie. I don't see how the NDC could actually pull this one off. They got to pull something out of a hat, and to me, it ain't gonna happen. But
Well,
again, kudos to you, sir. You did a really good job and continue to do it. And I did call you and ask you to call me because I heard you said that you wanted to go mobile, and I was calling you to talk to you about that. And then maybe there is some ways that I can help. So when you get a chance,
yeah, we'll talk.
give me a call.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay. Yeah, God bless.
So, all right, my brother.
All right, one
we'll
love.
talk again.
Great.
Okay, one love.
Right.
All right.
Call 15, not 50, definitely.
No, 15 in
15?
excess.
I don't like to get into estimating
Yeah.
crowds for political parties because supporters of the different political parties get upset with you when you do so you think.
What I do look for in crowds, Andre, not the size, but the mood. The mood.
The mood of the people.
Yeah.
That is very, very important. The mood of the people, that is extremely important. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Donald.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, Mr. Donald.
Talk to me.
And good morning to Master Caller.
Yo. Adia.
This is something that gentleman said. I'm one of the caller before. One of the speaking about the NBC meeting they had in Goa. And I was sort of suspicious too about that these speakers on the platform. When I heard Mr. Donald, something that Mr. Mantama said, and it sort of really baffled me. When he said that Grenada is, for the past 7 years, on stagnation. And then he went back and used the word on telling Grenadians to get politics serious. So now you don't do that to people.
Take the politics what?
Serious. You take this politics serious. Take their politics serious. After repeating that Grenada is on stagnation for the past 7 years. You know, I don't believe that people, experienced people, like Mr. Tillman Thomas, got a lot of respect for, to making those remarks in order to gain political votes and so on. It doesn't go down well. At least I really should think about it. Secondly, in my area, you have a gentleman running for the NDC. And I want to be truthful, Mr. Donald. I've never seen that gentleman. I don't know the gentleman. I've been living in the constituency for the past 65 years. I knew his father. But something that is worried, Mr. Donald, is that the younger people, the younger people in the community and in different villages are saying, oh, he's young, whatever he do, he's all right, let's give him a chance, let's give him that chance. They don't know the game, Mr. Donald. I had a conversation with a gentleman, and I said, okay, look, he said that, look, we need a change and what and what. I said, but look, we get a candidate now who you know definitely help, not only the constituency, but help Grenadians. You know him, you know his work. But you don't, all you know, you're just caring about Ron. You're just caring about give us Ron, give us Ron. What Ron have done? Don't worry, man. When you get there, you will. Mr. Donald, those information, those statistics that the NC are using, I'm frightened. And I'm not frightened not to laugh, but it is not good.
Okay.
As the speakers are saying, the group of people, how could you can help yourself, you want to help me, Mr. Donald. Mr. Donald, have a good day, sir.
You too, Primus. Take care of yourself.
Thank
Calm.
you, gentlemen.
We've come to the end of it this morning. I really appreciate the fact that you made it this morning, and it was good to see you. And hoping that we can do it together again. Take care of yourself. God bless you.
Okay, Trey. Have a blessed day.
All right, then. Repairing the Bridge with Wendy and Roofing. That is next. Stay with us.
Well, a pleasant good morning and welcome to Repairing the Breach. I pray that all is well with you and yours and that you have had a really good weekend and poised to have an even greater, better week ahead. I trust that you are safe in body